UK boxing blogger news coming right back at ya. This time I'm back with my prediction video for the main event at the Bad Blood Bill in London Excel Arena, where they're going to ram 20,000 spectators, hardcore fans, where most of the tickets have been sold through the fighters themselves. So you're going to have a real mad atmosphere that night. It's going to be exciting to watch on TV. All the fights, unlike the pay-per-view fight last weekend, they're going to be 50-50 fights. You got Bradley Skeet versus Frankie Gavin. You've got Billy Joe Saunders, Chris Eubank Jr. And you got the main event, Tyson Fury versus Derek Delboy Chisora. 50-50 fights. They're all going to be exciting. I cannot wait. So now I'm going to break down the main event, Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora, and give you my prediction. Right, first of all, I'm going to start off by saying who I think is going to win. And I think it's going to be Delboy Chisora. That's my pick for the win. The reason why is because I feel that Derek's in big shape. Since their last encounter, which Derek wasn't in a good headspace, he had two postponed fights with Vladimir Klitschko. One a couple of days, he was in Berlin doing the final press conference and done the media workout, and it got cancelled. The second one, he's deep into training and he cancels again, Vlad, and takes a hay fight. He was soul destroyed. He was not in a good frame of mind. He was out of shape, not in the mental shape, fighting Tyson Fury, who'd never really shown anything before other than being a giant. He was soft around the waist and struggled against McDermott woefully. The talent was always there, but he was looking awful. But then when he come in that ring against Derek, he was at his complete worst mentally and physically. Tyson Fury was a man that night, and come in and shoot went up the level, and won fair and square. But it was still a great fight, So since that fight, Derek has moved on. He got robbed against Hellenius, won that fight, clear for everybody to see over in Finland. Went on to go 12 rounds with Vitaly Klitschko. And it was actually the guy what was more game at the end of the fight. And the fight would have gone on for another 3 rounds. Derek would have been all over him. Not saying he would have won, but how many guys actually get in there with Vitaly and actually fire back like that and are willing to fight in the 12th round and not take a complete beating. He was still there, fresh and ready to go at the 12th. So them kind of performances were great. I know he had a great fight with David Haye and he lost, but still the level he's been fighting at, and even he's been the most active top heavyweight over the last couple of years, dominating Kingpin, big stopping Malik Scott, and keeping busy at European title level as well. The guy's on fire. His career has been going up and up since then, been right at the world title level. But you've got Tyson Fury, who's been having, he's been on that Channel 5 Mick Hennessy train where you get, low-level type fighters. Well, he hasn't had bad. He's had your Rogans, he's had your Kingpin Johnson as well. He's had Joey Abel and, he's had okay fighters, and he went over and fought Steve Cunningham. He was a cruiserweight in America, which was his biggest fight since the Derek Chisora win. But you compare the two records of the two men, and other than the Hay fight, which is still an experience that Tyson Fury hasn't got, because that is like an event, and the magnitude of that event is an experience in itself that Derek's been through that Tyson hasn't been through, so he can call back on that experience and maybe use that to his advantage. But even though it was a defeat, not the performance but the whole experience, Tyson Fury hasn't seen all that. He ain't done any of that, and the level he's been operating at is quite substantially lower. Derek's been in there against punchers, big men, small men, the best big men, so Tyson hasn't done that. So Derek has been more active, he's in shape, and so he has the resume and the experience says that he's better off than Tyson. So then now Derek, stylistically, where he's at now, in the best shape of his career, very dedicated, I believe his speed and his body work and his ability to fight big men, because he's never been hurt against some of the biggest men, including Tyson Fury, Helenius, and Vitali himself, proves that he can fight big men. You know, if he had the energy levels to sustain attacks. And this time I think he'll use the defense that he has. He's very good at blocking the big men's defense and bobbing and weaving underneath. But this time he'll be doing it with a bit more speed and footwork, coming in at his angles, getting inside. And I think he will try and break down Tyson Fury by the body. Big, wild overhands. But from the inside, mid-range to inside range, he'll get in and he'll overhand rights, left hooks, bombs with big body work, and he'll be mixing it up. And I think that will grind Tyson Fury down. And if Tyson Fury has got chin problems, he may even get stopped. That's the way I see the fight, and that's how I see Derek winning that fight. But as I always in my prediction videos, I have to give my counter prediction the other way, which I think is less likely because I've called it for Derek Chisora, so I'll go with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, if he does, you know, if he can stay solid and box with an authoritative jab, hit out at Derek. Every time Derek goes to bomb, he's got to be accurate with that jab and consistent and have good footwork. He don't have to have dancing footwork. He just got to be stepping back or stepping diagonally or sideways out of range, but planting the big jab at the same time and be ready in case Derek slips it to be banging over with the right as well, just to confuse Derek and land nice and early to make Derek think. You know, and make him have second thoughts about committing himself, you know, and turn the fight into a different fight, making Derek fight more on the outside and at mid-range, and letting Derek second guess himself to the point that Derek can't get consistently into mid-range or get close, therefore taking away Derek's game plan and the way that I think Derek's going to win. You know, so then if he does that, he'll be able to catch Derek clean and maybe even hurt him, but it will discourage him, and that will stop Derek dominating in the way that he needs to do to win that fight. So there is variables, and there is two outcomes to this fight that I feel that are very, very likely, but I'm just going to hedge my bets with Derek Chisora. Even though Tyson Fury looks in great shape, he's obviously taking it very seriously. He's a huge man. I cannot wait to see it. They're both a credit to the sport, and they're great shape athletes, and they're all ready to roll. Boxing fans are going to have a great night, but I'm going to just say my prediction again. Derek Chisora wins by grinding the big man down for a unanimous 12-round decision, or even a late stoppage by accumulation of punches. This is UK Boxing Blogger News, coming right back at ya. Remember to subscribe to my channel so I can keep these videos rolling, and leave comments underneath so it can provoke some decent debate amongst the boxing fans in the YTBC and beyond. This is UK Boxing Blogger out.